As the winter winds litter London with lonely hearts, oh, the warmth in your eyes swept me into your arms.
This is Hammersmith in West London. Affluent, desirable, convenient, and you guessed it, expensive. Still, I reckon if I look hard enough, there may still be a property bargain lurking under the snow, ready to thaw out any frozen bank accounts.
This really is a prime London location. Hammersmith Tube, just 10 minutes walk, the river, just a short stroll, and a Michelin-starred restaurant on your doorstep. It probably comes as no surprise then that property prices around here may well make you see stars. £245,000 was the guide price for a one-bed flat in need of work. Wow.
The property's on the first floor of this very attractive Victorian terrace, on a lovely street, just steps from the shops. But for your $245,000 you don't get any outside space, so it's what's on the inside that counts.
Well, you don't have to venture too far inside to see that it is in a bit of a shoddy old state. At least a lot of the things like carpets and stuff like that have been removed, so that will save you a bit of time. Tiny little bathroom, definitely in need of a good seeing to. Good sized bedroom though, it is only one bedroom, and it'd be nice maybe if there was some feature fireplace in there. Worse than that though is the kitchen. I mean, that is microscopic, but I think I have a solution to that. I'll tell you about that in a second. But through into a really good sized room. This is your main living room, big windows, lots of light in here. Again, I'd like to see a feature fireplace, but it's not a bad sized space. And the solution to the problem is take out this wall to create yourself a kitchen, living room area that's very accessible around here, and I think it would totally change the feel of the flat.
It wouldn't be hard to bring this place back to life. There are a few cracks lurking here and there, but I think they're most likely to be just superficial. However, as with any purchase, I would advise getting a surveyor in for an expert opinion. It has wooden floors, so you could think about sanding them down to bring back some character. Open up that kitchen, paint some colour on the walls, replace the bathroom, and you'd be sorted. So that's it then. Or is it?
So you don't get a garden for your $245,000, but what you do get is that. It's a loft hatch, but above it is a loft. And that is potential for adding on an extra bedroom. Now, you are going to have to go through planning, and you are going to have to get consent of the freeholder, but by adding an extra bedroom up there, you could add on around about £100,000 to the value of this place. I think it's worth the effort, don't you?
You wouldn't just be increasing the space. Making this into a two-bedroom puts it into a whole new league of potential buyers, and appealing to the widest market possible is the key to successful selling. But just as things are looking up, the small print rears its ugly head.
Now, you always get that sinking feeling when you realise there is a clause or a covenant attached to the purchase of a property, but this one takes the biscuit. In the auction catalogue, it states that the seller of this property cannot sell the property to a purchaser who intends to occupy it as his or her principal home. Wow. In English, that means if you buy it, you can't live in it. It is something which councils are introducing. It's to do with how they account for the sale. Whatever the reason, it basically means that whoever buys this can rent it out, or if they do it up, they can sell it on to another person, and that clause is then nullified. Either way, I'll tell you what, if you miss that, it would be a very nasty shock.
Shock, shock, horror, horror, shock, shock, horror.
Well, it's a strange one, but just goes to show how important it is to do your research. And there are more shocks to come. The service charge for this place is, wait for it, £8,000 a year. So a whopping £666 a month. I think I need to sit down. We asked a local estate agent what he thought of this pickle of a property.
First impressions are it needs a little bit of work. It's very well located. It's a very affluent part of London. You would see houses for the family in the region of about £1.2 million, and you'd also see first-time buyer flats at around £250,000.
Such as this one with its guide price of £245,000.
The potential here is that you would extend up into the loft, create a whole new top floor. If you are lucky enough to be able to incorporate a bathroom there, you could get a very, very good 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom property out of this.
How could these changes affect the figures?
Value today, I think you'd be looking somewhere in the region of £250,000 in current condition. If it was to be upgraded as a 1-bedroom, I would expect it to achieve in the region of £300,000. If I was to put this on the market as a 2-bedroom, I would look to achieve £450,000.
Wow, that's some jump. What about rental figures?
You would be able to rent this out for £1,200 to £1,300 per calendar month. If this property was to come to the rental market as a 2-bedroom, I could see it achieving £1,600 per calendar month.
Well, this is a classic auction property that teases you with an attractive guide price and the promise of quick profits, but scratch the surface and it's not quite that simple. That restrictive clause and the huge service charge, well, they turn it from a no-brainer into a bit of a head-scratcher. Still, I think there are profits to be made. Let's see who fancied it when it went under the hammer.
Lot 8, where would you like to start? 200, thanks. 205, 205, 210, 215, 220, 225, 230, 226, yeah, 227, 240, 240, 241, 242, 245, 250, 250, 251, 252, 5.
Bidding continued apace for this particular property. We rejoin as it reached £276,000.
276, 277, 278, 279, 280, 279 sitting down, 280 elsewhere, 279 first time, second time, third and last time. Have you all done? Sold 279. All bought?
Successful with their £279,000 bid were local married couple John and Lisa. Since we know this place can't be for them to move into, I was keen to find out why they wanted to get their hands on it.
John, it's Lisa, lovely to meet you both. Thank you for venturing out in the freezing cold.
It sure is.
Tell me why you wanted to buy this place.
This is the first one for us. I do it for a living and have done for the last 20 years, and Lisa wanted to do something with me. So I said to Lisa, well, why not? Let's do something together and go to the auctions. And
yeah. What do you do when you're not doing this?
Well, look after the kids, 3 of those, bit busy, but also I was a freelance journalist. I've sort of taken a little bit of time out to spend with the kids and help John with his business, so bits and pieces really.
So you like the idea of getting into property developing?
Now the kids have got that bit older and I've watched John do what he's doing, and obviously watching TV programmes that are all the rage, and I just thought, right, maybe it's something I can start learning about and getting into, yeah.
Tell me more about what you do, John.
Well, I build houses for very rich people. I mean, there's a couple of houses I've just built in Hampstead. One just sold for 44 million.
44 million?
Yes. 15,000 square feet, and the most expensive house in Hampstead. And we built another one in St John's Wood that just sold for 31 million. So I'm pretty good at what I do. I hope I am, anyway. So I'm downgrading to this little 1-bedroom flat, and hopefully it's not going to be too much hassle. So it's exciting. I'm looking forward to it, and the good thing is it's for ourselves, so I don't have to answer to clients and that sort of thing.
That's the key to this project for John and Lisa. Something small in relative terms for them to get stuck into. But when it came to auction day, it very nearly wasn't this place.
I had a budget, a point of where I wasn't going to go over, and it was 280,000. So that's what the budget was. So everything we'd looked at previously went over by a good 10-20% than anything we'd done. So I wasn't expecting to win it. So when we did win, I was quite shocked. And not only that, I had to go and write a cheque out as well. It was, you know, his first time nerves, and it was adrenaline. It was very good, very exciting, and very happy.
So let's talk about the potential for this place in terms of the numbers, the profit. I mean, it really is extraordinary, isn't it?
Well, apparently, one bed sells at quite a good price, but it really leaps up if you can turn it into a 2-bed. And, that's the reason why we thought this would be perfect. 2-bed really adds value to it.
It certainly does. John and Lisa plan to convert that fantastic loft space into a second bedroom and bathroom, as well as to bring the rest of the property up to date, with a few original features thrown in. Like the sound of that. Their provisional budget is £53,000. They aim to complete the work in under 4 months, then sell the property on. But there's one last thing that's bothering me.
Now, there is a big service charge, isn't there?
A lot of that was to do with the roof, which was a pretty high price to replace the roof. And so, we were aware of that, and we can do it cheaper. So,
well, it's not cheaper. It's, with the loft conversion, half the roof is a mansard, so it's going to be renewed anyway.
Yeah.
The front half is shared costs with below.
And that took up most of the service charge anyway, that for the roof.
And also, I've spoke with the owner below, and we're going to approach to buy the freehold as well. So sell the property with a freehold is probably more attractive, bring more buyers into it when we sell it. So we're just waiting for the council to give us a price.
They seem to have covered every angle. Isn't it great when you've got an expert on hand? Well, with John's experience, I think giving this place the high-tech and high-spec finish it deserves won't be a problem. However, will they sort out the issues regarding the service charge, and will they manage to sell in this frosty climate? You can find out later in the show.